Do you use Max MSP and are you interested in granular synthesis? Well, boy do I have a project for you. Hello and welcome to the demo video for GRAiNDANCe, a simple but powerful Max MSP granular effect bundle developed by Marty Bites and Caleb Mays in 2014. My cat is here. And that is where my script ends, so the rest of this video will be improvised. We will see how that goes. Basically, I'm gonna demo the patches for you guys and talk a little bit about the functionality. Yeah, so a couple disclaimers. This patch was developed mostly through this tutorial by Tone Particle. Shout out Tone Particle. It is based a lot on that, but there are a few added parameters and a whole separate patch for... Sorry, one second. A whole separate patch for formant and time shifting abilities. So this will be available. I will put the link in my bio. It's free to use. It's totally... my god, okay. Free to use, free to download. Would appreciate a shout out or some kind of acknowledgement if you are to use it in any of your projects. But also you don't have to. But please, if you do use it, send me the link. I would love to see it. I would love to see it in practice. Yeah. So in this folder on Google Drive, you should see media, which is where you'll see a lot of the demo materials. You should see other, which is where the documentation is. This is essentially a README or a tutorial, a written tutorial. And then these are the actual individual patchers, and then this is the project file. So yeah, let me open that up. This is GRAiNDANCE 1. This is it in the expanded form where you can see all the code and stuff, which is, it's totally possible to use it in this form, but I would recommend going into presentation mode and locking the patch. You can unlock and lock the patch with this little button down here. And yeah, let me just show you how it works. So first we're going to hit replace. We're going to go into the media file, and I like this one. So this is developed by Caleb Mays. These demo materials are all their individual contributions, compositions, production, everything. So here's the gain function. We can turn it down a little bit, and you won't be able to hear anything until you turn on this audio right here. And you still can't hear anything because the density is all the way at 0. So let's take the density knob and turn it up a little bit. And maybe move the position. And the grain size is also at 0, so that's why you can't hear anything. Yeah, as you can hear, these are in conjunction making the new sound that you can hear and see in this window right here. So as you turn up the grain size, you can see this highlighted portion here as well. This is it's essentially telling you how long the grains are. I won't be explaining too much about how granular synthesis actually works. Hopefully you are a little bit familiar with what all these actually do already, but I'll keep going and just show you, what this does. Here's the position, so you can choose where in your audio file you're grabbing the grains from. I like this right here. And then the density, of course, is telling you how frequent you want those grains to be. So if you turn it all the way up, it's kind of like a very airy pad. You turn it way down, it's a lot more rhythmic and, I don't know, to me interesting, but yeah. So, and then you hit this button, randomizes the panning. As you can see here, these grains, each one that's coming through is somewhere random in the stereo field. Makes it a little bit more interesting, gives you a little bit more panning effect. You can turn up the spray here, and that is essentially saying, this is in milliseconds, this parameter, so this is essentially saying you can grab a grain from anywhere between 234 milliseconds before or after the indicated position. So as you can see, it just kind of varies it up a little bit more. And then when you hit this reverse toggle, some of the grains now will be reversed, will be played in reverse. It's a little bit hard to hear with this sample, but yeah, you can kind of see it in this, where some of them just look like they're flipped, and that means it's been reversed. And then when you're happy with that, you can hit open. These are sends. I would name it something, but I don't really feel like naming it anything. So, and then I'm going to make it a WAV file with this thing down here, and then I'll hit save. And once I hit save, I can hit this red button, and that's giving you the record time in seconds right now. So it's recording everything that I'm putting in, right? Everything that's being created. My cat wants to help. And then I'm done. I think this is a good enough clip. So I'll hit the red button again, and then I'm going to turn the audio off and show you the next patch. So I can safely now close this now that I've recorded my file. And then I'm going to go to GRAiNDANCE 2. So this is the second patch. Oops, what are we doing here? Okay, this is the second patch. Again, you can see it in the expanded form with all the code and stuff. I would recommend hitting presentation mode, and then do the same thing to initialize the file. Just hit the replace button, and I am going to grab the same one that we just made, which I believe is this. Yep, and then you can turn on the audio, and it's basically just going to loop exactly what you made. So that's what we outputted the last time. And now when it gets interesting is when you turn on the time stretch, and then you turn on formant shifting. This slider here that I'm moving is controlling the rate at which your formant stretching is changing. So this is the actual value of the formant. It goes from 0.5 to 2. And the further along here, the slower. It's a little bit unintuitive, but the further along in the slider you have it, the slower the change is going to be. So as you can see, and then this will blink as well when the formant is being changed. So I like it kind of fast, but you could have it fast or slow depending on how much you like your. I'm gonna turn the gain up actually just a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't clip. Put it up at 0. There we go. Or around 0. And then you can also change the speed. It's very important that you have time stretch on, otherwise speed will be changing the pitch. You probably don't want the speed to change the pitch unless that's what you're going for. But yeah, this will change the speed. And as you can see, at random intervals, the speed is changing. So that's kind of that. And then once you're happy with that, you can do the same process where you hit open, name your file, choose the extension. I'm going to cancel it because I don't want to record, and then hit the red button, and it will be counting in seconds how long your recorded file is. So that's pretty much that. Now I'll share with you the demo file that Caleb created for this project. It is in the GRAiNDANCE folder in media, and it's this one titled Xstall Born Slippy GRAiNDANCE Demo Final. My cat is a menace. that's about it. As you can hear, there are a few different, these are the individual pieces of that song that were used, that were created using the patchers. So what they did was they took bits and pieces of used it in their composition. Create interesting sounds. And then here's some more of what was used in that demo song. Cool. So yeah, that's essentially a an example use of the patchers. Now for the nerds, let me show you a little bit about how this works in the thing. Yep. So basically, everything is running out of this gen. These two MC gen channels. This one is using a phaser to create 30 individual channels, and each channel is being kind of run through with this phaser delta channel count MCGen object. And then this MCGen object does a lot of the work with the parameters. So there's a counter, essentially counting which channel you're on. There is this reverse parameter, which is using the noise function to create a sort of a random value of either 0, 1, or -1 or 1, which corresponds to whether it's played in forward or reversed. This is the grain size. It's just saying, how many samples exactly to play. And then this is the position, so it's taking the size of the buffer sample and then doing some math and finding where in the sample it's going to be played. There is also the spray parameter, which essentially just modulates the position parameter and is doing some more math. And everything is being run through this peak function, so it just says grab that little sample and play the individual bit. And then sample window is actually the envelope for, as you can see, this is the shape of the window. So each grain is being, the amplitude of each grain is being modulated with this window. So randomized panning, this just says a random value from, I believe 0 to 1 in each, in the panning of each channel, each grain. And then here's all the stuff. Okay. Anyway, I am not the best presenter or explainer, so forgive me for that. But yeah, there's a lot more interesting stuff on the tone particle video that you can actually get into the minutia of how it works. This one is something that I developed personally. It has the same initializing stuff, buffer info, setting the buffer so that it shows up in the waveform, and then these are the formant shifting and speed modulation stuff. So this is taking a metronome at the rate of the slider, so from 0 to 1, it'll multiply this 1,000 by 0 to 1 value, and then taking a random value scaled from 1,000 to 0.5 to 2, and making that the formant at the rate. And then everything is used this groove tilde object, which has loop functionality, and it also has time stretch and a lot of other attributes. This is the reason that these are not in the same patch, is because we couldn't figure out how to get the groove tilde object to work with the what is otherwise a 30 channel thing that is using the peak and the gen tilde object. So yeah, basically the same thing does for the rate. It's scaled from 0.5 to 2, and then it's actually a signal that is sent into this top thing. So yeah, I made these visuals in Blender. So yeah, you can feel free to use those, I guess. I don't know why you would use it. Oh, it doesn't want to open that. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Again, this is totally free to use if you want it. If you're interested in it at all, maybe I didn't do the best job like selling it to you, but if you like it, if you think it's kind of cool, if you like what sounds you made, here, I'll show you another one. Actually, no, I won't. Yep. Anyway, this was made for, there I am. This was made for a final project for our music and computers class here at UCI in winter 2024. And yeah, many thanks to, there's a sort of a bibliography of the sources used in our documentation file. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you use these patches. If you like them, feel free to use them. Bye.